how do you build a family legacy? How do you build a family tradition and value system? We're going to share some of the traditions and cultures that we're trying to build in our family that I believe will set your family up for strength and success. Let's get into it.
If you like the way we look in the frame, just leave a like under the video and tell us in the comments, how do we look?
And subscribe.
Do we look cute together? And also, by the way, we need to find out, is it actually true or is it a myth that as couples start living together longer, they start to resemble? They resemble?
They will look alike. While I was reading up on this, I got a definition of a family culture that I loved. It is a combination of habits, traditions, cultures, beliefs, value systems that are combined together to form a new family culture. Yeah? So when two people get together, they come with two different backgrounds. They come from different places. They have different belief systems, and now you're trying to live and cleave and form your own unique culture. Like now the Kisaches.
Right.
Yeah. So, babe, what are 3 cultures or traditions that you would want us to give our kids? Something that I forgot to mention about family cultures is also our experiences, our personalities contribute to family cultures. Yeah. So, what are three cultures or traditions that you are keen on us growing as a family and passing down to our kids?
I think just being aware of the Word of God. Maybe it's too far-fetched, but it is what it is. It's important today to know the Word of God, because a lot of things are twisted a little bit just because, well, we don't know as much the Word of God as probably the people those days did. And so sometimes someone will quote just a small phrase, like say, let's say, love your neighbor as you love yourself, but they don't go the whole understanding of what context it is and etc. So a lot of things are twisted these days just because we don't know as much of the word as we should. So something that I want to, because we grow up sort of studying or reading the Word of God as a family, I want it to continue.
Yeah.
Something else has a lot to do with modesty. Is that the word?
Like how they dress and
No. Not modesty. Modesty is risky, but humility. Humility. Yeah, and humility has you need to understand what humility is. Otherwise, you find yourself stepped on. So it's important for us to continue that culture, but also teach the children to remain humble, but also be confident. Yes. Yeah.
what's the third one, baby?
Oh, the third one. I thought I'd spoken already.
No.
Like 5 of them.
No.
Anyway, the third one, which I would like them to continue, is just healthy eating. I think in this day and age, it's important to eat healthy. Maybe because in our family we were sort of health, we're keen on health and what we have a lot of medical people in the family. But just the conscience to know that I'm eating unhealthy, or we must always, like, wherever you are, however rich you are, however poor you are, try to eat healthy. It's key. Because we got sick, but we didn't get sick much. Yeah.
Okay.
Even
For me,
teeth. Yeah, we really didn't. We don't really have dental problems.
That's true. You guys didn't do a lot of candy.
Yeah. It pained then, but the results are
the
evident.
benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think the 3 things that I want to pass down to our kids, some of them, is number one, having, of course, you've mentioned those ones, so I won't repeat, but having meals together. So sitting down at a dinner table and eating together, or when you go out, you eat together, and just having conversation over the dinner table. I believe a lot of relationships grow over food because everyone loves food. So I want us to be able to bond while we have our meals. Yeah. So especially dinner. Like if you are so busy and you're not able to have breakfast and lunch together, at least we'll sit down and have dinner together. Yeah. Then something that I am learning is to allow the kids to be bored. So not to feel the need to constantly occupy their time with activity and the kids are bored, let's give them something to do, but allow them to be bored because it's in that boredom that creativity is bred. So they're able to see, okay, let us put this and this together. Maybe it looks like a car, or it looks like a lorry, or it looks like, I don't know, a trolley, and allowing them to be bored and not occupy their time with things. Because also in boredom, they're able to notice, like, oh, this is how your eyes are. What's that black thing in your eye? But if we're constantly glued to screens, things to entertain us, then we're not going to notice some of the things that happen in life. Like some in some homes, the father comes back home, the kids have not seen him because the daddy just passes and they haven't seen. So that's something I want them to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. So the spirit of family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third one is I want to expose them to our careers. When we grew up, we thought that the only careers that are acceptable are the ordinary ones, like being a doctor, being an engineer, being, I don't know, a professor, things like that. But I want them to have an open mind as to the different careers that are available. Like, open your mind. There's so many avenues for you to make money. So I want to show them how we're doing it and help them know that God created you for a purpose.
Yeah.
So at some point, allow Him to show you what that purpose is. So to have their minds open to whatever you dream you want to be, you can be it. You can be more than one thing. You can be a doctor and still play the piano. You can be a lawyer and still play golf. Let me not say golf because golf is bougie. You can be a lawyer and, I don't know, play what? Be a musician, be a dancer. You can follow more than one passion. And let me also piggy
I
bank.
like the way a lot of people are embracing the whole cooking thing. I think it's very nice.
Yeah.
I would like to call myself a chef.
I think you are lucky. A chef. If you are a bit more
No.
serious, babe, you
Yeah,
could be.
if
Yeah.
I got some
Yeah.
skills, yeah, I would
Yeah.
be a good chef.
Yeah. And let me just ride on to that. Mine are going to be more than 3. But I also want them to know that you can have more than one best friend. Especially in those young ages. I remember there was a lot of contention, especially like in primary school and secondary school. This one is my best friend. This one is my. You feel like you can only have one. You can have more than one best friend. Everyone, like there are a number of people that can be so close to you. So open your mind and allow for relationships to grow. Allow them room to grow and to be nurtured. And I also want to know, babe, is there a habit or a tradition that you saw and admired and fell in love in me? And now, almost 7 years later, you're like, you know what? We can do without that one.
Hmm. Mm, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
I'll tell you mine.
Hmm.
Waking up early. I admired the fact that you woke up early. You did things early in the day. Mark wants to wake up at 5 a.m. By 10, 11, things are done. And I'm just like, do we have to? So I admire that, but it's something I'm just thinking, because it stresses me out. Like, how are you in bed at 9 p.m.? Why are you in bed at 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
So are you sure there's nothing you saw in me that you admired and now you're like, no, babe?
No.
Okay, so how has it been like, seeing as we came from different backgrounds, our backgrounds are so different,
Very.
mostly different. So how has that integration of our different background, our personalities, our experiences, our family cultures, like the your family of origin and mine, how has that integration been like?
Fairly easy, I think, because you've talked about it in one of your videos. It's important for you to date, and it's important to marry your friend. So, what helped us is that we talked about all these things before we got married, and there are some things which we discussed, and we expressed to each other that, man, this one, no, this one I can't, this one I can't, and I think it helped us. It helped us a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And some of the things, I like we all know, you can't have marriage all set up from the beginning. It's like it's like you at the end is when now it's a fine thing. It's really
It
refined.
gets refined as
Gets
we
refined.
go
Yeah,
along.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think maybe in the future, but I think we know each other to a certain extent, and so I wouldn't say that there's some things which I am not very comfortable with now. Yeah, but how has it been for us? I think it's been fairly easy because we discuss these things, and then oh wait, okay, maybe there's the one of the disciplining, the disciplining,
Ah, yeah.
because
Disciplining kids.
yeah, the disciplining of children. Because our experience, I think, was slightly different from yours, or you specifically. So it's been a lot of, we've had to do a lot of studying
Studying and
to
research.
just to
Yeah.
get the facts right, and
Yeah.
see who is more right than the other.
No, see what God
Yeah,
says.
what
Yeah.
we since we had slightly different ideas of what disciplining looked like, uh, we decided to go to the author and finisher
Of our
of
faith.
our faith to give us the right way in which things need to be done.
Yeah, but you let us know in the comments. Who do you
Yeah,
think of the two of us is the tougher parent?
yeah,
Who
yeah.
do you think is the
It
tougher
will be
parent?
exciting to see what you will
Right?
say. Yeah.
Yeah, it will. And I also just want to say that integrating two different cultures is not easy.
Yeah.
That's what the Bible calls living and cleaving. It's not easy, but you have to want to live. You have to want to leave your parents, and you have to want to cleave. Once
Yeah.
that desire is there, then everything else becomes a bit more manageable. It won't be easy because you are 20 plus something, like for 20 plus years you've been doing things a certain way, you know things a certain way, and then now all of a sudden you're required to change, you're required to move in a different direction. You have to have the humility of heart to want to change, to want to do better and be better, like have an open mind to see how differently things can be done. Yeah, so in the pursuit of creating a family culture, just be sure to create memories, because there's a book I was reading and they said whether you want to parent your kids now or you feel like I am still chasing my career, I'll parent them next year, they are being parented. The only difference is, are they being parented positively or negatively? So while you are going through life with your babies, create memories, create rituals, things that they will look back on and say, oh, every Saturday my dad would come and take us out for a drive and we go for ice cream. Or he'll just take us out for a drive and we see trees and count the number of trees, or see how fast the trees are going past the cars. Like, create it. It can be something so simple. There are people who on Saturday mornings, their tradition is they will get their kids up and they go to the nearest coffee shop and get coffee, get the kids little teas, but in those disposable takeaway cups. And it's something so simple and so doable. So if it's there's someone else who I was talking to this week, and she said for her the tradition she's setting up is sometimes on the evenings, I think Thursdays or Fridays, they will have evening tea outside in the compound. So they will set up a mat, take their tea. No more tea. Sometimes it's tea and popcorn, tea and bread. Very simple, but they'll sit out and the kids feel like they're having a picnic. It's adventurous for them. It's something that they are going to forever remember. And those are things that they can pass down to their children as well.
Okay. As we close, there are two scriptures which I like: Proverbs 13:22 and chapter 17, verse 6. 17 verse 6 of Proverbs says that grandchildren are the crown of aged men. And so it's by the time you have grandchildren, there should be something that they know about you, and there should be something that they are learning because of what you taught your children. The same for chapter 13 verse 22. We understand, a lot of us contextualize it as a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Great, it's important and you must. But is inheritance really materialistic? Yes, it would be nice for it to be materialistic, but not
Beyond that,
only
yeah.
materialistic.
Yeah.
And so it's important, I guess, like now for us who are married, to have a plan or a vision, to have children who are this and this and this, to have a family that has these values, this vision, and this kind of expectations of the children. By maybe 10 years or every 3 years, as a family, we do A, B, C, D. By this age, everybody should be this. When I wake up, before I go to bed, I should have forgiven everybody who has blah blah blah. Or whenever I am paid, be it much or little, I have to get this percentage and give mom or dad, or I need to take it to church, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of thing needs to be inherited by your children and also passed on to their children. The success of it is determined by how genuine the vision is, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Someone said she learned that sometimes you have to in certain aspects you have to look at your family like a business. Like
Pretty
have
much,
a
yeah.
family vision, have values, objectives, and let it be known by everyone, so that when someone knows that the Kisaches stand for this is their vision, this is their objective, and then maybe someone one time runs a rumor and says this person did this, and someone says that person is a Kisache, can never, because they know what your values are and they know that any Kisache will not go against those values. Yeah. So
Right.
have a family vision, have objectives and values, let them be known. Even when your kids are little, let them know Kisaches don't talk unkindly. So that when they grow up knowing that we don't talk unkindly, we don't shout at people. When we have dinner, we sit at the table. We don't talk with food in our, like whatever it is, the things that you think are very small, you are setting up your children for success or failure. Yeah. And let us know, what are your family traditions? What are your values? Are you struggling to live and cleave? What are things that you want to pass down to your children? What are things that you are grateful that your parents passed down to you? Let us know in the comments, and remember that we are rooting for you.
Yep. And just an addition to what you said,
Yeah.
you know, there are traditions that we like, and we like to force them onto our spouses, which is also risky. Yeah. Like if I saw my sisters or my mom kneeling for my dad, or I must make sure my wife does that
has to
for
kneel.
me. Have the discussion. Maybe she's willing, but
The heart is willing, but the body has refused.
see you in the next one.
Sorry.